Okay, I'm trying out a new webcam, my first video. Thing that comes to my mind, I just saw Thunderfoot and Ray Comfort. Okay, it was long, and I'm still trying to digest all this stuff, but the first thing that comes to my mind, not a good idea at all to talk science with Ray Comfort. Everything seemed to go right over his head. He just refused to believe it. There was a point, though, where I thought Thunderfoot might have explained speciation to him. That's more than Gearup understands. But I don't think it's going to stick. That would be interesting. It would be just a tiny little fragment of scientific knowledge that he might have absorbed. But otherwise, everything seemed to go right over that guy's head. Maybe if you're going to debate Ray Comfort, you just ought to get into the religion. I don't think talking science is getting much progress with Ray Comfort. But if you talk religion, talk about how he sees God, you might be able to at least expose some discontinuity, some incoherence in his view. It seems to be there. For example, he was saying, I came to know God. I'm sorry, I keep having to look at myself. It's not easy to relate to a webcam. He kept saying, I came to know God, talking about he knows the painter. He knows the one who made the Grand Canyon, stuff like that. Thing about paintings, more often than not, they represent things. Does the universe represent something? Or is it an abstract work of art, purely about the color and form? Where that would get you, I don't know. But ask unusual questions about how he models God. Don't just tell him he models God in his mind. It's the odd questions that's going to expose things that you can use. Because I have a very strong suspicion there is something very, very incoherent in Ray Comfort's theology. There was a point to illustrate how over the head Thunderfoot's stuff went. There was a point where Thunderfoot was trying to explain how we model other people in our head. Ray had just told him how he knows God and stuff like this, and Thunderfoot was getting into, well, we have models of people in our head. I think it was getting to the point you have a model of God in your head. And as Thunderfoot was explaining this, Ray seemed to just miss the point and say, so, you are saying that people are easily deceived. And it had nothing to do with... Hold on. Okay. I don't know if I stopped the webcam there for a while. Something happened. Where was I? Okay. Ray just didn't seem to get anything. I'm not exactly sure where Thunderfoot was going. He was trying to say exactly what he said, though. He wasn't trying to say people are easily deceived. I mean, that was just off the wall, almost. He's talking about creating models in your head, and how do these models work? That's not deception. That's all of human knowledge, is model making. Representation. I'm not sure, like you say, I'm not sure where Thunderfoot was going with his Todd is God thing. You have to see the video to know what I'm talking about. Um, I think the idea was that you create a model of God in your brain. Um, Thunderfoot was just trying to describe such a model and relate it to how Ray was modeling a God, not really knowing him, just having this idea. Um, there's something in there. Um, it makes me think of something else. At the basics of these kind of theology debates, we talk about where did God come from every time they start asking, where did the universe come? God made it. Well, where did God come from? The fundamental underlying thing here is what is the most fundamental thing about the universe. Ray Comfort would say it was mind, or God's mind, or this spirit thing. The thing about mind is, what Thunderfoot might have ultimately been trying to get at, he just never got there, was that minds are very contingent. I mean, when I talk about something, it's always something outside of me. Even if I talk about my feelings, that's internal, but there's something I'm observing. We're observing things. What are you observing? What's going on when you're the only thing there is? I mean, you have to create everything. Everything is always going to be a reflection of you, because all our ideas are about other stuff. Even my own body is an other thing. I'm going to have to think about that one some more, because I did not really come into this with a coherent idea. I'm trying out the webcam. I'm going to leave it there, see if anybody can make sense of this. It's late, and I just want to test this thing.